Welcome to The Real Deal with Jason Silverman, the podcast dedicated to helping you build the business of your dreams and live the life you always hoped for, with valuable and fun tips and info to make your life easier and more fun. And now, here's your host, a man who sprinkles metal shavings on his breakfast cereal just for fun, Jason Silverman.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Real Deal with Jason Silverman. I'm your host, Jason Silverman, and I'm thrilled to share some time with you once again today. As you know, I am always on the hunt for interesting as well as super smart real deal guests. And I got to tell you, today's show is a grand slam. I want to introduce my listeners to somebody who's truly been there and done that. And I can't wait to pick his brain for your benefit today. And quite honestly, every time I talk to this man, I get nuggets and nuggets of just pure wisdom. So you're really in for a treat. Now, for the folks who I work with in any of my coaching programs, my mastermind group, or through Powerful Words Character Development, All-Star Cheer Sites, or the Jason's Army Mastermind Group, you know how much I focus on the importance of creating your own success, right? Well, this show is going to help us to do just that. So today it's going to be my honor and privilege to share an amazing resource with you. You're going to love today's guest. He's got a ton of valuable information about what I consider to be some of the keys to success. He's also got a fun way to deliver it. So strap yourself in. Today's show is going to be a blast. As I'm sure you already know, I'm committed to helping business owners just like you to become more successful, enjoy your career more, and in general, make life significantly more fun. We only get one ride on this merry-go-round, and we want to make sure that it is one hell of a ride. Alrighty, boys and girls, it is now that time. Stop surfing Facebook, put away your phone, your tablet, your dog, your cat, your spouse, your significant other, anything that might possibly distract you from today's show. You're about to get some great and immediately implementable information, and I don't want you to miss even a second of it. So, before we officially get going, let me give you a little bit of background about our special guest today. In addition to creating popular brands and businesses throughout the fitness industry, Bedros Keuilian is also the founder and CEO of the fastest growing fitness franchise worldwide, Fit Body Bootcamp. He's also the fitness industry's leading consultant for marketing, branding, business systems, and development. His blogs, products, books, and live events help tens of thousands of fitness professionals and business owners around the world build more robust and profitable businesses. Bedros has been featured as a host and an expert on Spike TV's Gym Rescue, and he's also known as the hidden genius behind many of the biggest names in the fitness industry, including top celebrity personal trainers featured on popular television shows and networks. An immigrant from a communist country turned hugely successful entrepreneur, Bedros uses the stage to share his personal American dream, immigrant edge story as he imparts his passion for entrepreneurial spirit while empowering audiences worldwide to strive for massive success. His sales, marketing, and business systems are the secret weapon used by thousands of successful business owners worldwide who want to reach more high-paying clients and customers without the use of unpredictable or dead-end marketing tactics. And quite honestly, he's my coach too. So you folks are in for a treat. Bedros, welcome to The Real Deal. I'm so thrilled to have you today.
Jason, thank you so much for having me, man. It's awesome to be here.
Can't wait. Hey, listen, before we officially get started, for those who have not had the true joy and pleasure and honor of meeting you or hearing you speak, do me a favor. Take a second, share your story with our listeners. What are you passionate about? What makes you tick? Who is Bedros Keuilian?
Sure. I'll see if I can put it all in a nutshell for you. So at the age of 6, I was in 1980. At the age of 6, we escaped communist Russia, specifically Armenia, and came to the United States. So at the core of who I am, I'm an immigrant. I'm a foreigner, and I believe in the American dream because my father was a member of the Communist Party, and he did not like being a member of the Communist Party. He hated oppression, and he wanted freedom. He wanted opportunity, and he believed in free enterprise. And the more value we can add to society, the more money we can have, and that money, by the way, is just a vehicle to freedom, he said. And so as he instilled this in me and my siblings over and over again, we escaped communist Russia in 1980 and came to the United States. Now, to say that I was poor and broke is an understatement, Jason, and you know my story, but for your audience, I'm the guy that I had lice as a kid. By the age of 7, I had lice so bad in my hair, but we were so broke that we couldn't afford lice treatment, so my mom, in her infinite wisdom, got a brilliant idea that she was going to have my dad siphon out gasoline from the old jalopy car that we were driving, and she washed my hair in the middle of the complex of the apartment that we lived in with gasoline, just right. And by the way, the first 2 years, all of 1980, 81, and almost into 1982, I had the duty of being the breadwinner. And you would think, well, wait a minute, you're 6, 7, 8 years old. How are you the breadwinner when there's a family of 5? See, my parents and my older brother and sister, they all had multiple jobs, working at a pizzeria, washing dishes, delivering newspapers at night, pumping gas in the middle of the day at the gas station. But I was the breadwinner because in the evenings, my dad would boost me up into the dumpsters that were behind the grocery stores. And these grocery stores, man, they would throw away stuff that are expired that they couldn't sell anymore, but they weren't necessarily bad. And so it was my job to find the bread that was slightly moldy, fish it out, and throw it out to my mom and dad. It was my job to find the milk and to take that milk that was expired and open it up. If it didn't smell sour, throw it over to my mom and dad. And this is how we made by the first couple years while we were struggling to make it in this country. Now, today is a whole different story. I'm so thankful, I'm blessed, and I feel that I have a duty to pay it forward because I'm not only the guy that started Fit Body Boot Camp. We're a global franchise with over 400 locations across 3 continents and 7 countries. I coach and consult some of the biggest names across many industries, yourself included. I have New York Times bestsellers as my coaching clients. I have TV celebrities as my coaching clients. I have people who are making in the hundreds of millions per year as my coaching clients. And man, it's such a wonderful life, and I can't wait to share what little wisdom I have in this one special area with your audience.
Fabulous. I got to tell you, every time I hear that story, it's such a perspective builder, whereas, people say, oh, I'm starving to death. No, really, are you starving to death? No. Were you fishing through the dumpster this morning? No. So you truly have been there, and to come out the other side is fabulous. So, I hear so many people talk about being successful, and I've had the opportunity to experience your guidance in this area, and honestly, it's invaluable. But what would you say to my listeners, is the foundation for dominating your own path?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I often talk about find your purpose and dominate your path. And so every now and again, people will ask me, what do you mean by that? And what I mean by that is I believe that we as humans are a lot like dogs, specifically German Shepherd dogs. In fact, I've got a beautiful German Shepherd and American Mastiff mix dog. Her name is Cookie. She's about 100 pounds. And like all German Shepherds, she needs a duty and she needs a purpose. And the breeder told us right away, they said, look, if this dog does not have a purpose, if it's not shepherding something, if it doesn't wake up every morning and play catch and then go on a run with you or whatever, it will fall into a deep depression. And so I realized as this breeder is telling me this, holy smokes, we are in a position as humans where we're a lot like these dogs. We are born and we all instinctively have a gift. I believe that every human being on this planet has a gift, a purpose, some kind of deep down passion that they want to share with the world. We have it. We sense it. We feel it. The reason we have such a high depression rate, suicide rate, drug use rate, in fact, the drugs that control mood today they are being sold more, and their stocks are the highest that they've ever been because people are regulating their mood and their state of mind through pharmaceuticals rather than going out there and saying, look, I have a passion and I believe this is my purpose to share my passion with the world, and I'm going to go into a singular focus and dominate my path. And that might be just like you, helping people with powerful words, or gymnastic or gym or cheer success coaching, or like me, helping the fitness industry because I was a fat kid. When you grow up eating crap for food and fishing out of dumpsters, you eat anything. And by the time senior year came around, I was over 35 pounds heavier than I should have been. And that was 35 pounds of fat, not muscle. And so I was depressed. I was the loner. I was a pariah. I kept to myself, and I found myself going deeper and deeper into darker thoughts as I was graduating high school. And it wasn't until I read through a Muscle and Fitness magazine and realized that I could do something about my physiology, and lost the weight, got in shape, and that had forever changed me, because I was supposed to become a smog technician, man. I was supposed to be that guy that you take your car to at an automotive place, and I would put the thing in your tailpipe and tell you if your car gets registered this year or not. But instead, my path changed as I realized my purpose was to share fitness and fat loss with the world, because there was other people like me who were quietly suffering with low self-esteem, low confidence. And so I became a personal trainer. I helped people that way. Soon I started coaching and consulting personal trainers. And then through these trainers, helped people that way. And now I've launched Fit Body Bootcamp, the franchise. And every day we help millions of people worldwide have a better mindset. They may not have a good environment at work or home, but when they come to a Fit Body Bootcamp for that 30-minute workout, I promise you, it's uplifting, it's high energy, it's fun, it's their second home, and they get this amazing workout that uplifts their spirit and sends them back on their road. And so we all have a purpose. I don't know what everyone's is, but if you dig deep and find that purpose and dominate your path on a singular focus, you'll never suffer from depression, and you'll have this fulfillment that you can't get from any other drug.
Wow. I mean, so you're providing with Fit Body, you're providing these folks basically a vacation every single day if they choose to come.
That's it, every single day. And all of us, by the way, whether it's fitness or whether it's mindset or whether you're a person that just knows how to knit well, and there's thousands of other people out there who want to know how to knit well, whether it's for stress relief or they want to knit a blanket. If you have that purpose, that passion, today you can share that with the world, and when you do, you're being fulfilled. And just like that German Shepherd dog, man, when we have a purpose, we have a reason to wake up in the morning and be happy. Simple as that.
Well, that's certainly what it's about. So many of our listeners here own small businesses, whether it's a martial arts academy, a dance studio, a cheer gym, gymnastics club. Put your coaching hat on for a quick second, right? What would you tell them to help them understand the importance that their mindset is in the realization of their goals?
Oh, man. Mindset is everything in the realization of their goals, because the number one thing I'll hear from people is when they come to me for coaching is, all right, I want to grow and then you fill in the blank, whatever type of business. It could be, I want to make my next book a New York Times bestseller. I want to grow my coaching and consulting business. I want to grow my gym or my cheer center or my dental practice. It doesn't matter. And I'll tell them, well, what do you think the problem is? And they'll say marketing. Problem is definitely marketing. I need better leads. I need better leads and better prospects and a reliable way of marketing. Okay, well, that's easy to do. Facebook is probably the number one platform right now, and here's the steps we use to sell my coaching, my info products, my franchise on Facebook. So here's many different funnels that sell from $29 products and services to $20,000 coaching programs and $30,000 franchises. And as soon as we give them the marketing systems, they come back to me with other problems. They go, yeah, it's not working. Well, what happened? Well, I made an ad and it got disapproved on Facebook. And then, well, then I got frustrated. And then what? Well, then I gave up. Well, why? Now, if you've got this mindset of I have a duty and a obligation to serve my market, it doesn't matter how many times the guy or gal sitting at Facebook's Grand Central Station denies your ad or even shuts down your Facebook account. And by the way, Jason, I've had my Facebook account shut down 4 times, and we spend over $100,000 a month on Facebook. Oof. But it doesn't matter how many times they shut me down. I have a purpose. I have a duty. I have an obligation to serve people. And so I keep going back with new ads, new creative, new copy, new landing pages, a new offer, a new promise, until Facebook says, I'm going to show your ads to the people that need to see it so that you can help them and make money. And it's as simple as that. So mindset is everything. You can go in there with a defeated mindset and have the best marketing plan or the best sales system in the world. But a defeated mindset is going to give you a defeated business. Or you can go in there with a mediocre sales process. An average marketing funnel, but with enthusiasm and passion of a lion, and you will absolutely destroy it.
Well, I'm so glad the way you phrased that was really brilliant. I'm sitting here taking my own notes. In that, Facebook then allowed you to show ads to people you could help. Just the mindset and the language there. It's not about, I need to sell some more shit. This wasn't it. I mean, you were very, very clear in your purpose there. I need them to stop hitting the reject button so that I can get out there and help more people.
That's it.
So changing the mindset of, okay, I got to do this Facebook thing so I can sell some stuff so that I can bring in more dollars. That's got to switch over to how do we change more lives?
That's it. When you change lives, the money comes as a byproduct. It just does.
Love that. Absolutely love that. One of the things you talk about all the time, I've heard it a ton, and I still can't get enough, is you're always talking about 10xing your success. What does that mean?
Yeah. Good question. So I figured out long ago, I figured it out because I'm victim to this, by the way. Everything I share and I teach, whether it's from the stage or from a private coaching consulting session, is from my own personal experience, because I come to you, my friend, with a world of problems. Not only am I that foreigner, but I was also the kid who was molested for 2 years in Armenia before we came to America. You could imagine the anger, rage, confusion, guilt that left me with. And then you come to a new country and you're being called a foreigner. You have a funny haircut. You can't speak English. And so I dealt with so much adversity in my life that I realized that I was operating, trying to become that gray person. In other words, if you walk into a room where there's a cocktail party happening, Jay, and all of a sudden you could tell who the life of the party is, the outgoing, smiling, using their hands and feet and body language to talk. You can tell who that outgoing person is, and they've got a circle of people around them. And then you can tell who the wallflowers are, the people who are gray, who are just kind of trying to blend in, not be seen, not be heard. That was me. And typically, that is most people who are trying to become entrepreneurs, whether it's small business or a mega business. It doesn't matter. So what I figured out with myself is, yes, I'm trying to serve the public with my product, but I almost have, it's like having a Ferrari, a brand new Ferrari that is designed to go 200 miles per hour, cut corners left and right, just break the sound barrier. Yet if I pull the e-brake up on that thing just slightly and then drive it, it is underperforming. It's no better than a Toyota Camry, and I can't figure out why. Most of us drive around life with our emergency brake slightly pulled up. We're afraid to pull that down and go all the way because of the criticism that we might experience, because of the feedback we might get from friends, family, coworkers, spouses, because of the backlash we might get on social media. Who gives a fuck about any of that when you have a purpose and a passion and an obligation to fulfill that purpose? And so when I say 10x everything, I simply mean drop that e-brake and do that damn thing like you're meant to do it without pulling punches.
It's so brilliant because obviously, even just from a numbers perspective, right? If you're 10xing, so you're just going to add a zero to something. Well, if I wanted 50 clients, now I'm going after 500. The activity that I'm going to use to go after 500 is so dramatically different than the activity I would go after for 50.
Exactly, and not only the activity, but the mindset. So it starts with a state of mind. It starts with the dollars you're going to spend, and with the type of website or copy or ad you're going to create. Everything changes as soon as you go, I'm going to go, 10x things. And Grant Cardone said it best in his book, The 10x Rule. But when I say 10x things, I really mean you got to aim for what you believe that you can achieve and not just pull punches where you're just kind of playing it safe. So many of us play it safe because we're afraid of criticism and feedback and all this nonsense. But if you just said, I know I can help 50,000 people, and you marketed that way, sold that way, was productive that way, holy cow, the impact you would make.
Well, I remember at your last Fitness Business Summit, you were talking about your 20-20-20 rule.
Yes.
Like, would you just talk about that for a second? Because I want people to understand, like, the magnitude of the amount of impact you're going to make.
Yeah. And so here's what we did. When I launched Fit Body Bootcamp back in 2012, I said that by the year 2020, so at that point there was 8 more years still, I said by the year 2020, we're going to impact 20% of the world's population via health and fitness. Now, that could mean that Mrs. Jones works out at a Fit Body Bootcamp, but she's a school teacher, and so she goes back to school and educates her students, her 25 to 30 students, on a better way to eat for energy and to eat to live instead of live to eat. Then we're impacting that group of students through Mrs. Jones. Or she might go home and help her family eat better. Or they might do 100 burpees over a weekend, right? 10 here, 10 there, 15 there. Something where they are now starting to embrace the idea of health and fitness and longevity, taking control over their lifespan and their health versus just saying, I'll get medicated and drive around on a scooter when I'm 40 years old because I'm gaining so much weight. And so our 2020 vision is just that, to impact 20% of the world's population through Fit Body Bootcamp. And we don't just stop by training people. We have an app. We wrote a book, because you may never come and sign up at a Fit Body Bootcamp in your town, but maybe you are going to download the free app and do the at-home workout that we offer, and it's free, and you might share that with a friend, and they might share it with another friend, and that friend might be a person who owns a business who shares it with their business. I don't know if I'll be able to quantify that we have impacted 20% of the world by 2020, but I tell you, I work my ass off every single day along with my staff of 40 people here as though we were going to be able to quantify it when 2020 comes. And that's really what matters most.
That's awesome. Well, one of the videos I've seen you put out recently was your Straight Lines to Success video, which, I remember watching it and then watching it again and then watching it one more time going, wow, he's really just saying exactly what I needed to hear right this second. So just on a quickie, what's your philosophy on Straight Lines to Success?
It's simple. We all know whatever that purpose is that we have. Once we commit to doing it and drop that e-brake, the next thing is to become a professional and not let the idea vary. Because as an entrepreneur, by the way, we do have a curse. And that curse is we come up with so many ideas that we would need 10 lifetimes to fulfill these ideas. That is the curse that you and I have. And so because of this, we have to become disciplined and go, all right, the fastest way I'm going to go from here to impacting 50,000 people with my coaching program is to put the blinders on and not let the idea fairy come in with another good idea that's going to divert me, take me down a rabbit hole, only to come up with another idea and another rabbit hole, etc. And so that's how the Straight Line to Success mantra came to be. And I just created the term, the good idea fairy, because, well, as soon as I say that to people, they go, holy shit, yes, the good idea fairy visits me several times a day, and it fucked me up. And I said, well, you got to get disciplined, and it won't do that anymore.
I love that. Everyone I talk to, I should say everyone, so many of the people that I talk to who are maybe not further or along the path, so to speak, always claim that, well, there are people out there who are successful, but they were born special or they're lucky. If somebody came into your office, into that boardroom where I've sat before, and said, Bedros, I wasn't born special, and I don't think I'm particularly lucky, so is it realistic that I too could be successful?
Sure. See, I tell people I was born lucky. That's why I'm so successful. That's why I'm so financially free. I was lucky enough to get molested for 2 years straight by 2 boys in the neighborhood before my dad thankfully plucked us and brought us to the United States. I was lucky enough to eat out of dumpsters. I was lucky enough to be so broke that I went to 3 elementary schools, 3 junior highs, and 2 high schools. I was lucky enough to get lice and have my hair washed with gasoline. I was lucky enough to be called a foreigner. I was lucky enough to not be able to raise my hand and explain that I need to go pee as a child, and so I peed myself in class because I didn't know the language, and I didn't know how to ask, and the teacher just kept snapping at me. And so I was that lucky. And so if you want that kind of luck, then go to a foreign country, get molested, go through the things that I went through, or just decide that you live in a wonderful country today You have great opportunity that you didn't have even 10 or 15 years ago called the internet, and get disciplined and do it, because there's no one that I know of that has had more of the cards stacked against them than me. And so if I can do it, and I hate this phrase when people say it, if I can do it, then you can do it. But holy hell, man, if I can do it, then anyone can do it.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, it is time for our resource of the week. So obviously there are 8 bazillion websites out there, YouTube, all that good stuff, that you can't really swing a dead cat without running into you on the internet, which is always something I appreciate. So how can my folks directly get a hold of you? How can they find out and learn more how you go about helping entrepreneurs to succeed?
Oh, sure. The best way is to go to my blog, bedroskeuilian.com, and I've got a ton of great free training videos, educational videos, blog posts, and of course all of those blog posts and training videos lead to my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, which just gives you more and more and more of me until you're either sick of me or you decide that, you know what, this guy actually makes sense. He's a little bit rough around the edges, and I can understand why, and I want to do business with him. So bedroskeuilian.com is the place to go.
So Bedroskeuilian.com.
Yes, sir.
Fabulous. All right. I always like to end my podcast, Bedros, with one question that I think is kind of telling. So if you could give business owners just one solid piece of advice to either help their business or, even more importantly, help them to live a better, more balanced life, what would that piece of advice be?
That piece of it, and this is going to sound cliche because it's coming from a personal trainer, but even if I wasn't the trainer, I would say this: eat better and work out. As an entrepreneur, you're like a fighter jet. You are not like regular people who sign the back of the check. You are signing the front of the check as an entrepreneur. And as an entrepreneur, you're a fighter jet. And a fighter jet has a special place in that giant aircraft hangar. It has a special team that works on it. It has a special pilot that drives it, and it has very special care and maintenance to it. As an entrepreneur, you are a fighter jet, and if you don't take care of your body and your mindset and your health, it will fall apart, and your family will end up burying you a lot sooner than they're supposed to because you neglected what's really important.
Fabulous. Bedros, thank you so much for joining me today. I know how crazy your schedule is, and it means the world to me that you take some of your time and share a whole mess of your wisdom with us. This has been fabulous catching up with you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, Jay. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure is mine. Folks, that is all the time we've got today. Thanks for tuning into The Real Deal with Jason Silverman. For more info about private coaching or to see if you'd benefit from my mastermind group, visit me over at www.jasonmsilverman.com. I look forward to helping you achieve the success that you truly deserve. Until next time, let me leave you with this. Get out there and be the real deal. Set a goal, make a plan, work like hell towards it, and achieve the success that's waiting for you. Now's the time. Get out there and make it happen. Go get 'em. This has been Jason Silverman, and I hope you have a spectacular week.
You've been listening to The Real Deal with Jason Silverman. To access the great resources mentioned in the show and for information on coaching and mastermind group opportunities with Jason, please visit jasonmsilverman.com.